Good afternoon and welcome to Tyne Valley Motorhomes. Today we're going to be looking at the Autoroller Pegaso 745. So first I'm just going to take you for a walk around and point out the main points. First we're going to start with the bonnet. Later on in the video I'm going to show you how we actually lift the bonnet up. So it still retains the original bonnet catch. You've got your filler for your screen wash just there, and you also have your dipstick just here. Obviously in terms of oil top up, power steering, that will be done by a separate garage. This section here, this is an external locker. The way in which it locks is you've got two locks which rotate, which pull the door in. That'll then be locked into place. When you lift it up, you can see you've got extra storage space inside here, along with the roller team plate. That has obviously the various numbers, including serial numbers and type approval numbers that you may need for ordering parts in the future. Just here again, opens and locks with the key. This is your fuel, again it's diesel, and then this is for your AdBlue. There is also inside an AdBlue warning light that will come onto the dashboard. Moving along, got the gas bottle locker. So this will take, effectively we've got one 6 kilo bottle in here for demonstration purposes, but this will take 2 13s or 2 6s, or as you can see there it also specifies a 15 kilogram bottle. So what you've got the straps which secure it. Just for demonstration we haven't secured the bottle in, but it is important when in transit just to ensure that these are both secured in place. Again, we've put the LPG style gas pipe on. It's not circular motion, so if you did want circular motion it would mean a different regulator and a different end. So again, we're just going to turn the gas bottle on, and that means when we get inside we can demonstrate it a little bit further. Just the side we've got the hookup. So hookup, it is important when you're removing the hookup cable to press the black switch down. When it's up, it's stuck inside, so don't try to heave it or pull it. Please press and then you'll notice it just eases out. Very simple. You've got your fridge vents, top and bottom. This is just your flue for your boiler, so please ensure that's not covered, or that internal will mean that you get a fail light on. You've got more storage, so this is a great motorhome for storage. So inside here you can see it goes right the way through, so any large items. I've put the infills in still. I have removed the carpets for demonstration, but there are carpets as well. So this is printed with a lovely awning. It looks around about a 4.5 metre awning. So nice and easy to use. Just wind the awning out. So wind it out as far as we can until we can reach it. Obviously I'm not the tallest of people, so I have to take it out a little bit further than maybe someone else. All we do there is this leg here, pull it out, that will allow it to swivel, and we drop it. And then as you can see there's a wing nut here, which then just allows me to secure the height, and that's also going to take the strain. Got a leg on the opposite side as well. So first you just pull at the right hand side, and then that allows the leg to swivel down into place, and then just adjust that, and then as we've got the awning in this position we can then start to extend the awning. Now we'll extend out for 2 meters. Some of the smaller ones will be 2.5, and we'll just move the legs into position. And then we keep on doing that. And as you can see, it creates a lovely room. So put it back, we do exactly the same, but just in reverse. Now I've got the legs back into place. Again, that's done by just simply doing exactly the reverse. So we pop that up, make sure that this foot is in that position. So we don't want it like that. We want to make sure that the foot is in that position. Lift it in, and then we push down the left hand edge and make sure that that's clipped in and secure. So you'll notice there's nothing sticking out, nothing stopping it from retracting, and then you just wind the awning back into place. And you'll hear it back in. And once that position, you know it's ready. So on this one, you've got the reversing camera, which is just located there. High level brake lights. Again, you've got the bike rack. Kitted out for 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes. Nice and easy to use. The way in which it operates is we lift the bikes into place. Me personally, I like to secure the bike in place using the top handle or block. Press on the little red toggle. That then allows us to pull the strap out. That would go around the bar, back in, nice and secure. And then again at that point, me personally, I like to then these go through the wheels, the spokes of the wheels, and again just keep it nice and safe. When we're not using it, you'll notice there's a little plastic catch, just keeps it into place. But also for me, I like to put the bike blocks down, and I'll tighten the bike blocks so that again gives extra bit of support. This motorhome's also fitted with a tow bar, single electrics, ideal for, well, some people like to use it as a low level bike rack if you want to take extra bikes. Moving on, you've got access to storage from this side as well. You've also got nice tie downs in there as well, so for securing anything. Move a little bit further on, you've got the toilet. This is fitted with the cassette toilet. The way in which we retract the toilet is you've got a little clip there, lift and then pull. And this particular model has a strap, so again for pulling, pull it around just in case it's a little bit heavy. That goes back, and then to empty the toilet, always empty it through here. So remove the cap and then hold at the handle and then tip. When we're putting chemicals back into the toilet, then you'd utilise the cap. If you're using a liquid, use the cap, put the liquid into the cap, pour, and then screw it back. A little bit of water in there, a little bit of shake, then insert. If you're going to use the sachets, the way I like to do it is I put a little bit of water into the toilet, and then once I'm inside the toilet, I'll drop a sachet in, generally green. With the green sachet or green liquid, you can use that right throughout the UK and in Europe. The blue, for it's stronger, a little bit more fragrant. You can't always use that on all the sites. To empty your wastewater, so your grey water, this will be your wastewater from your shower, from your sink. You've got a handle here, simply pull it towards you. You hear that click open. If there was any water in the grey, then that would dump the water. Once it's drained, push it back in, and that's the grey water closed. Again, on here as well, extra storage. So they've really tried to utilise all of the space. To lock it, we rotate, and then again use the key. Once it's locked, that'll press into place. On here, we've got our fresh water. So again, locked. Just open it, insert a food grade hose pipe into there. Obviously, various people ask, how do you know it's full? To be honest, the easiest way, you can do one of two things. You can go inside the motorhome, look at the gauges. When it gets to 100%, turn off the water. The lazy way, and the way in which a lot of people do it, is just put the hose pipe in, and then simply, once it starts to overflow, you know it's full. So when we first step in the motorhome, first thing we want to do would be turn on the power. When we should do that is to press this button here. It has a round circle with the line. That indicates the power. Just above that, you press B1. That indicates how much power is in the engine battery. B2, how much power is in the leisure battery. The water, again, shows 100%. If and when the wastewater is full, that will illuminate as well. Press the temperature. Temperature shows 22 degrees. That is the internal temperature. If only it was 22 degrees outside. Lights. Awning light. And water pump. So in order for us to use any of the taps, showers, we must have the water pump turned on. That would be the first thing to do when entering the motorhome. So after entering the motorhome, we've got the power turned on. Next thing we may want to do is to put the heating on and hot water. The way in which we do that is quite simple. Press the center knob. This then allows us to select. So the icon that's flashing, the motorhome with the thermometer inside, that's to set the temperature, or the internal temperature. So it goes all the way from 30 all the way down to off. So we select the temperature we want, 22 degrees. Then flick over to the water temperature. So we can have eco, hot, or boost. So depending on how quickly we want the water to heat, we'll just go with hot today. Then we're going to look at the source. So how do we want to heat the water? Do we want to use gas or electric? Do we want to use both? So at the moment I've chosen electric, 2, so that's 2 bars of electric. We can turn it to 1 bar of electric. Mix, which means we're working on gas and electric, so that's 2 bars of electric and gas. 1 bar of electric and gas, or gas only. So we're going to go back to electric as we're on mains hookup. Then we've got fan speed. So at the moment, our fan speed is on eco, and we've got high. So we'll go with eco, and that'll just keep the temperature nice. You won't hear the fans. I think when we flick it on, if it say it's a cold day, let's go back onto our fan. You notice when it's flashing, that's the selected icon. So we'll go to high. If for any reason you get a problem and you want to reset the boiler, so say 12 volts gone off, or your electric's tripped out, and then you can come back into here because it'll come up with an error message. Scroll it around so that little spanner is flashing. Once it reaches offset, scroll it all the way around to reset, and at that point we would press reset. We don't want to do that today, but that's just in case you get any problems. So now we're inside the motorhome. Obviously I've shown you how to turn on the control panel. Gas is on. Next thing you might want to do is have a cup of tea. So the way in which it works, nice and easy, automatic ignition. Press down. As soon as we start to press down, you'll hear the igniter start to spark. Press and turn. As you can see, hold it for a couple of seconds. Nice blue flame. Exactly the same operation for all 3 hobs. Just hold it for a couple of seconds. Just make sure the thermocouple heats up. And as you can see, nice and simple. With the oven, very similar sort of way. So we turn to the left for the oven. Keep it pressed for, I think, 3 seconds. And then as you can see, it's illuminated. You can then adjust the flame by turning the knob, turn it back into the center, turn to the right. This is for the grill. As you can hear, the grill's ignited as well. So very simple, very straightforward. When you're grilling, make sure this is pulled out as well. Stops any of the heat coming and burning the knobs. So as we move in the kitchen, now we've got our hot water on, we've got our water pump turned on. You can see you've got a good flow of water, good pressure coming through. We've got cold, and then we've got hot. As you can see, I don't know if it's coming through there, but that is nice and warm. So that's everything working in there. Obviously, next we'll then look at the hob, and also the next thing we may want to do is to move over to the fridge. So we've now mastered our hot water. We've got the 12 volt working. So now what we're going to do is put the fridge on. So it's a 3-way fridge. It'll operate by 12 volt when driving, 240 volt and gas. And again, remember 12 volt is only for driving. It won't operate on 12 volt unless the engine is started. So to turn on our fridge, press and hold the power button. You'll notice this panel illuminates. Currently it's set on automatic. Because we have it on automatic and we're plugged in on mains electric, you can see the little plug icon, which means it shows that it's working on 240 volt. So if we want to change that, press the center button. When the A flashes, we can use the arrow to choose how we want the fridge to be powered. So you've got 240 volt, 12 volt, which is the little battery, and gas. So we're going to leave it on automatic. Press the little button. Now that's the temperature of the fridge. So coldest to warmest. So maybe knock that down 1 bar and then press the center to say that we're happy with that. Again, to open the fridge, push the handle to the right and then open. Inside we have our freezer box. Great sized fridge. When we're not using the fridge and it's stored, the motorhome is stored up, then the best thing to do is obviously to keep the door open. If we don't keep it open, you get smelling, you get mildew. So the best thing to do is to pull this little frame out, and then when we shut the door, the fridge lets air, so it lets it breathe. Again, once we're finished, and we're going to start using the fridge again, put it back and then allow the door to lock into place. Just beneath you also have another drawer, and this is again like a cooler, really, I suppose was the way in which it would be used. But as you can see, you have a huge fridge. Is moving to the rear lounge. You can see we've got windows all around. Fly screen and blind all operate in exactly the same way. So we've got the smaller window. So the way in which you want to operate the blind would be simply push the 2 buttons in. That allows us to pull it up and locate. To retract, again, push down. Fly screen, separate. Pull it down and it just attaches with the clip. Nice and easy. The larger windows operate in exactly the same manner, but as you can see, we have a clip on the left and right. To operate the windows, always remember to press the little button. Don't try to force it. Press the little button. That allows the catch to open. And then again, nice and easy. That's in ventilation. Then pull it back towards us. And then to lock the windows in place, apologies, I did remove the carpets earlier on, just so they wouldn't be in the shot. And that's it secured. Again, you can, if you look at the clip, if you open it slightly, you just want the window on breathe. If you open it and then lock it into place in the center there, then that will let a little bit of air in. Roof light in the rear, obviously nice and easy. So we have blind, and we have fly screen. To operate the roof light, nice and easy. Press a little button in, and then again the bar can be moved into varying positions. And then to retract, once we get it into place, make sure when we push the bar up, it clicks beyond the button, and that's the roof light locked into place. Because the motorhome's got great storage, it's important, because they're all positive locking, don't just try and pull. To open the locker, push down, and then that allows nice easy operation to open and close the lockers. All the lockers operate in exactly the same way. Another great feature with this motorhome is that your TV is stored on a bracket inside. So it's a drop down TV. Again, looking at it, it looks like a 19-inch TV. So the TV bracket just pulls down, locks into place, and then again when the TV is fitted, the TV can be manipulated, and then again nice and easy, put it back, and then again it just pushes up. Now this little bar here is pushed in, and as you can see, just goes up into place, and then push it out of the way. So to make the rear bed, obviously you've got a huge lounge, quite straightforward. Firstly, what we want to do is remove the seat backs. Now again, what we're going to use is underneath in the bunk area there was 2 infills. The 2 infills will be utilised to go into this area here. Once the backs are removed, again, if you lift up the base, we can see that we have a leg. So for the leg, pull the leg out, and again, you can see you've got brackets. Just make sure that that bracket is clicked into place. Once that's in place, lower the base cushion, and then pull it out. What we want to do is going to repeat the process with both sides. So when we lift this up, you can see again we have legs on this side. Once that's been extended, pull it into the center. We're going to be placing the infills into this area here, and that is how we make the rear double bed. As you can see, with the infills in, again you could remove these backs as well, which I would do to gain the most amount of space. But it's a huge bed. As we move back through the motorhome from the rear lounge, you can see we've got our wardrobe. Open the wardrobe, I don't know if you can see, but you've got your booster. So flick the booster on, you'll notice the blue light is ignited, has come on. Again, you can move the knob left and right, and that will change the boost. So if you've got the TV on, you're not getting a great signal, come back into here and start moving and twisting the knob just to see if that makes any difference, which it should. Again, we're just going to turn that off now. Have a separate table for the rear. Obviously the front does have a table, a fixed table, but in the back here we have a separate table. As you can see, that's just secured into place nice and safely. Please make sure that's always in place before moving off. Stepping into the washroom and toilet area. So as you can see here, this is your control panel for the toilet. So to use, make sure first that the flap is across. The way in which we turn the flap is through this grey handle. Move to the right, the flap is open. Move to the left, the flap is closed. So always make sure the flap is closed before we're using. Always put a little bit of water in, press the centre button. That's your flush. Put a little bit of water into the pan. If the toilet is full, this will illuminate with a little red light to say so. But I would recommend that we empty the toilet every couple of days minimum. Once you've been to the toilet, to flush it into the cassette, move it to the right, and then push it to the left, and that seals all the nasty smells safely away. Our light switches are just the left hand side of the mirror. Our sink, the spout of the tap can be moved, and then again change the temperature of the tap, move from left to right, and then to turn the water off, press the tap down. You'll notice that pulsating noise, that's just the pump building up pressure. You've got storage in here as well as again another overhead locker. Please remember to push the handle down and then lift, and again we've got more storage. Moving into the shower, the great thing about this motorhome is you've got another shower rail in there. The purpose of this is if you've got any wet jackets, wetsuits, anything like that that need to dry and drip dry, if you hang them on here, all the water just drip and go into the grey water tank. So to operate the shower, again, operates in exactly the same manner. I'm just going to take this up so I don't get soaking wet. So to operate, pull the handle back. You can notice the pumps just come on and the water's trickling. And again, with temperature, we adjust it left and right. To turn off, press the shower in. In the shower, you also have a light. To operate that, simply press the light to turn on and off. Again, you also have a vent. So to access the vent, pull the fly screen down, and then on the inside of the handle, you've got a black bit which can be pushed in, push in, and raise. And again, you can do it with both sides, or you can do it with just one side, and that'll just ventilate any steam, anything like that, out. To close the shower doors, notice there are a little press stud here. Pull this press stud off, and then it's a concertina door. Just make sure it inserts into the seal, and then just pull towards you. And then to put the doors away, again, push inwards, and then just rotate the shower doors, and then using the same strap, it just simply attaches back onto here. Please always ensure that these are fastened before setting away, because if not, then the chances are this perspex screen may crack. As we're back in the kitchen, I thought I'd point out a couple of handy drawers. We have our gas valves. Again, you shouldn't need to touch these. These will be used by a gas engineer when servicing the motorhome if they find a gas leak. This allows us to isolate different parts of the vehicle or the gas piping, so we can ascertain where the leak is. Have a handy slide out drawer, ideal for cutlery, and then a larger drawer beneath. And then at the very bottom, we have our 240 volt trips. So when on hookup, if for any reason you haven't got power coming in, the first thing to check is, just move the screen, is this button. If we press the test button, and if this trip goes down, that means we have electricity coming into the vehicle. So if I press that now, that would trip, because ultimately we know we've got power coming into the vehicle. So always remember, when on site, if the site are saying there's no power coming in, or there is power coming into the motorhome, should I say, and you're not getting any power and you don't believe them, come back to the motorhome, press that button. If for any reason it doesn't trip, if that button doesn't trip down, then we know there's no power coming in. So the first thing to do would be to go and check the hookup lead, make sure that's inserted into incorrectly. If that is incorrectly, then go back and speak to the site and ask them to check again. Move back to the front, you notice you've got your sitting area. In the sitting area, you've got your lap and diagonal seat belts. So the other one, just behind there, just behind this cushion. On the left hand side here, I'm going to lift this cushion up and to remove the back cushion, and underneath there we've got our 12 volt fuses. With the cushions removed, we can now lift up the flap. We can see the leisure battery, and what we can also see are your fuses. So this is where all of your fuses are. So this will be for your fridge, for your lights, water pump, and I don't know if you can see on there, there's a little key, a little diagram that shows what each fuse is for. So any problems, that'll be the first place to check. Looking at the dinette area, underneath this base cushion is where we'll find the fresh water tank located. During the winter months, we need to drain down the water, or if we're not going to be using the motorhome for a prolonged period, it's always best to drain down the water. So, first step, remove all the cushions to allow us to gain access to the water tank. Now the cushions are removed, we can see the base. Lift up the base, expose the top to the water tank, simply rotate, And then at the bottom of the water tank, you can see the bung. There's 2 bungs. Please remove, so using the toggle to the top of the T, pull, that will remove the bung. The water will drain. It's always advisable to do this over the winter and to winterize the motorhome properly. Further information on winterizing, we do have a separate video. But always remember, keep the tap stored in the upward position. So once we've drained the motorhome down over the winter months, always keep the tap open. Obviously there's water in the system, which is why we've got water coming through, but always store it with the water or the tap open. Again, next step would be to drain down the boiler as well. To drain down the freshwater boiler, or your, shall say your hot water boiler, remove the back first, then remove the base cushion. Once the base cushion is lifted up like so, you'll notice you've got little inserts. Once the insert is removed, it then exposes the dump valve. So this is an automatic dump valve. It's going to be a little bit tricky to demonstrate this with one hand, but we're going to give it a go. So, you can see on the top, you put a little diamond. When it gets too cold, this will automatically trip. When it trips, you put a little blue button that comes out. When you push the blue button in, the water stops. So what we need to do is, we need to press this button in and rotate this clockwise. So I'm going to do that, but I can't demonstrate that unfortunately. So I'm going to do that and then show you what it looks like afterwards. Once it's clicked back into place, you'll notice that this is now at 90 degrees, and that's in the correct position. Front drop-down bed, very, very easy, very straightforward. Firstly, what we need to do is to swivel the front seats forward. And then what you'll notice is there's a little catch. You need to push that forwards, or backwards should I say. That allows the seat to drop. Again, this happens on both sides. So once the seats are in that particular position, that then allows the bed to nice and easily rock into place. We do have ladders, and the ladders just simply attach into here and here with their hooks, and that allows us to gain access. So I'll demonstrate that now. So now I've got the ladders in place. If you can see where they connect, just behind this metal frame, stops any rubbing on this little pelmet area, and that allows us access into the drop down bed. You do have netting which can be attached, and you can see the buckles attached just up the top. Some people choose to use this, some people not. I would certainly recommend that you do, because the last thing you'd want to do is to roll out of bed and hurt yourself. To put the bed away, nice and straightforward, use the handle, pull towards you, then press up, and then again we have the strap and also a seatbelt clip. Just insert the clip just for security. To swivel the seats back into position, nice and straightforward. You've got a little lever, little orange lever on both seats. Push to the left, and as we push to the left, it allows the seat to swivel nice and freely, which then makes the front area into a lovely living area. When sat in the front of the motorhome, your bonnet release is located on the passenger side in this corner here. Pulls from the top down, and that releases the bonnet. It's a tricky place, so not everyone will be able to see that. This motorhome is fitted with an air conditioning unit. Very, very easy to use. When we're plugged in our mains electric, all we need to do is simply utilising the control, press the power button. We've currently got it set onto automatic mode, operate the temperature, select whatever it is that the desired temperature, so 22 in this case. I've got it set on auto, so that will automatically set the fans to reach temperature, but there are different modes, so you can put it onto fan only, onto air conditioning, when you've got it on air conditioning mode only, so you have full control over this fan speed. But again, as I say, I like to just use it on automatic mode. When we're finished using it, press and hold the power. Always make sure that the controller is pointed at the air conditioning unit, and then just turn off, and it's as simple as that. Now we've moved into the cab area, I'm just going to point out a couple of features. So this motorhome is fitted with pleated blinds. On the driver's window, it just quite easily operates by moving it left and right. In the corner window, slightly trickier, certainly with one hand. This just pulls over. You've got to keep it over towards yourself. It's a magnetic strip. This then just retracts and clips back into this little lip here. It does take two hands. The main window, again, just slides down. We just simply pull it down. And again, using this, it clicks into different positions. But when it gets to the bottom, these two will click in, and then to retract, just press together and then just lift into place. Looking at the cab itself, our ignition is just to the right hand side. I'm just going to start that up. At the moment, what we can see displayed is obviously low fuel. Don't worry, that will be sorted when you're on collection. We've got the warning light because the handbrake is on. The handbrake is just located to the right hand side of the driver's seat. Looking at the stalk on here, we've got a little trip button. On the trip button, if we press it, you can see that we'll go through a number of different settings. So if I go back to the beginning, first screen shows us the date and also the time. If we press that once, it'll show us our range. Trip A, at the moment that's showing 0 miles. If you want to reset it, press and hold the trip button for a number of seconds, and that will then automatically reset the trip. Mode, if we press the mode button, and you can notice on the screen, it'll come up with menu, and then just here you've got our up and down arrows. This allows us to scroll through the menu. If I scroll down, we can dim the clocks. We can set a beeper for speed, so ensure that you don't go over a certain speed. Trip B data, set time, so we can set the time. We can set the date. We can set auto close, so that will automatically lock the doors. Units, so we can go from miles to kilometers. Language, buzzer volume, service settings, passenger airbag, we can turn that on or off. And then to exit the menu, just press mode to enter any of the menus. And as you can see, that just returns it back to normal. In terms of our wipers, so for the washers, pull it towards you, and then for the wipers, it's an up. So each time we move it up, so up is for one swoosh, and then down is for the settings. So different speeds, should I say. On the left hand side, we've got our lights. So that is off, up is on, indicators left and right. We have a power switch for the radio, so when you are on site, if you want it on or if you want to kill it, this is just so to ensure there's no drains. Obviously flick that off, and that'll ensure there's no drains. That's really for storage, I would say, more than anything. Manual gearbox, and then in the center we can see our air conditioning. Again, on this little toggle, center toggle, is to draw air from within or recirculate. Different modes, so window and feet only, face and feet, face only. And then our temperature dial is the outside bezel, and speed in the center. Hazard warning lights. This is traction control off, and again this little button, this is for to be used when going downhill. This will limit your speed. To lock the cab door, well, you can hear it there. And this is, it used to have obviously a heated rear window. This will demist the mirrors. We also have fitted a 12-volt socket and USB. We're on the radio, so we're in our home feature there. We've got navigation, so that'll just take a few moments just to locate where we are. Have our FM. We have DAB. Again with DAB, you can either do a scan, that'll do a quick scan for you. Currently have 64 stations. You can program. So to program, select the radio station and then press and hold the program setting, and that will store it for you. We have our camera. Again, that'll automatically come on when we insert reverse gear. Brightness, so you can just adjust the contrast. Easy connect, so in this glove box here we have the ability to plug in our iPhone or USB connection. Bluetooth, again you can link your iPod through Bluetooth. Different settings, equalizers, so it's a very, very comprehensive radio. Again, on day of handover, if there's anything else you'd like us to run through, please let us know. But we do hope you enjoy your new motorhome. Thanks for buying from Tyne Valley Motorhomes.